because what he said refers to the role and function of the Speaker when he is elected and takes the chair of the Speaker. Take a look at what Mr. Becker had to say.
Colleagues, you have just bestowed upon me the greatest honour that I have enjoyed in my professional life. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the confidence that you have placed in me, and I'm keenly aware of the obligations into which I now enter. And I want just to say this about the responsibility of the office. I said only a few hours ago in my speech that if elected, a Speaker has a responsibility immediately and permanently to cast aside all of his or her previous political views. I said it, and I meant it. My commitment to this House is to be completely impartial as between members of one political party and another. That is what it's about. And I will do my best, faithfully and honourably and effectively, to serve this House in the period ahead.
There you have it. He spoke about the importance of impartiality. He spoke about the importance of the Speaker not having political affiliation after he has taken the chair, so that he is able to do his work truly in an unbiased way and in a fair way. And what he said is very true, because when you look at the Speaker of the House of Commons Information Office fact sheet, revised on August 2010, I'm referring to that document, it can be found online. When you look at the topic there, House of Commons Information Office, the Speaker, there's information in it that explains the role and function of the Speaker, and it speaks to how he should be. And I want to make reference to that section entitled Impartiality. Listen to what it says here on page 4 of the document. It says, the Speaker must be above party political controversy and must be seen to be completely impartial in all public matters. All sides in the House rely on the Speaker's disinterest and understand that he or she must stand aside from controversy. It goes on to say, accordingly, on election, the Speaker resigns from his or her political party. It goes further. Speakers do not stand on political issues, but as the Speaker seeking re-election, and they do not campaign. End of quote. Did you see that, my dear people? Did you hear that? What we see here, we see that the House of Commons dictates that the Speaker must be so impartial and so above political issues that one, when he is elected as Speaker, he must resign from his political party, whatever that would have been. So, for example, we would not expect that after having been elected to Speaker, he would still, for example, hold a party card. We would not expect that, based on the rules outlaid in the House of Commons in the UK's Parliament, which we follow in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We wouldn't expect, for example, that he would be seen at political party meetings in any way campaigning, because he's supposed to stand as the Speaker seeking re-election and not stand on political issues. He's not supposed to campaign. So that is very important for us to consider. The House of Commons even goes as far as to say that the Speaker must keep away, he must keep apart from old party colleagues, etc. He must really appear to be, and in truth and in fact, be impartial. Now, it may not always happen, but that is the ideal, those are the rules, that is how it's supposed to be, and any true Speaker of the House would seek to uphold those principles. But there's another area of the role of the Speaker that I want to highlight in this program before it comes to an end, and it has to do with how he goes about maintaining order, he or she, and how the individual goes about dealing with the groups, the different groups in the House, the majority and the minorities. There's a very important section in the document that says, and I want to quote it, and then I want to show you back a clip of how the Speaker of our House currently, the Honorable Hendrik Alexander, dealt with a particular issue. Let me read to you first of all what the House of Commons says. It says, and I quote, "The Speaker has to protect the rights of minorities in the House and must ensure that the holders of an opinion, however unpopular, are allowed to put across their point of view. This is especially important when deciding whether or not to allow the closure to be moved, that is, whether a debate can be brought to a close." End of quote. So we are told here that the Speaker has an obligation to protect the rights of the minorities in the House, and he must ensure that the holders of an opinion, however unpopular, are allowed to put across their point of view. Now I want you to take a look at this clip and consider in light of what I've just read. Take a look.
I want to get this categorically clear. Is the Honourable Minister saying that he, having gotten an allocation in the estimates, that it is up to him to spend the money however he wishes, and nobody can tell him anything?
No.
Is that the point that he's saying?
No.
Because that is the conclusion from what he's saying. Nobody from outside can tell him what to say, or how to spend the money, because he is the minister.
No, I didn't get that.
I don't know why we wasted the whole of the last Friday debating the estimates. If you have a minister who can say that he basically can do whatever he wants, so long as the funds are allocated.
Thank you very much, Emil.
That's how I understood it.
I am not going to entertain any further discussion in this matter. You have 1 minute to conclude, Honourable Senator, and conclude no further discussion on this matter. 1 minute, and I want to conclude.
Mr. Speaker, in concluding on this point, my issue is this. The same 14 million that has been allocated to the Tourism Authority last year, 2010, has been allocated to them again for 2011 to do their marketing outside. I'm finishing, Mr. Speaker. Yes, I'm doing that, Mr. Speaker.
Right.
So if you have the same 14 million last year,
not moving on
but Mr. Speaker, I just want to, Mr. Speaker,
I want that issue to close because I'm not going to entertain any
Speaker, I am referring to the estimate.
I understand that, but I said you have said enough on that issue.
But I just have one point I want to finish, and you're Mr. Speaker.
Tell me I'm interrupting you.
Mr. Speaker.
Senator, please take your seat. You can't tell the Speaker you're interrupting you. What kind of disorder is this? I'm interrupting you.
Mr. Speaker, I should not have used the word interrupting, but I simply meant that while I was saying what I was saying, because you cut me, I wasn't able to finish his thought. That is all. Mr. Speaker, the budget was cut. That is my point. And I am saying that this is as a result of the overall financial situation that we find ourselves in, and it is happening in all the different departments as a result. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say, sorry.
Time is up. Time is up. That's the end. You've gone over.
Did you see that? Clearly, in that matter, Senator Anissa Batiste was not allowed to finish her point of view. However unpopular at the time it may have seemed by the Speaker because the discussion was going on for a while, everybody else had a chance to say what they had to say on the opposite side. For example, the Minister Caesar, who was constantly cutting me and went to the point of beating up his chest to say he is the minister when that was not the issue. Nobody was making an issue of who is the minister. We know who is the minister. However, when I wanted a chance to wrap up and finish making my point, I was cut from my train of thought and I was literally told that I could not continue to say certain things. And that was not right, because I am there in the House, appointed by the Governor General under the advice of the opposition leader to represent the interests of the minority in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the Speaker's role, according to the British House of Commons, is that he has to protect the rights of minorities in the House and must ensure that the holders of an opinion, however unpopular, are allowed to put across their point of view. Therefore, his dealing with me, when you hold it up to this standard, according to the British House of Commons of the UK's Parliament, the standard we follow, his treatment of me in that regard was not in accordance with the standard. And furthermore, the fact that the others on the other side had their chance to finish saying what they were saying, and I didn't, it shows partiality, and it shows bias. That is what it showed. And I have to show you these things. I have a responsibility in serving the people to bring the facts to you. You can go on the British House of Commons site and you can research these things for yourself. You can read them and you can see for yourself. And you can understand and judge when you are looking at the Parliament from now on. And when you're listening to the Parliament, you, the people, have a right to be able to judge and assess what is going on and know whether or not your opposition, the minorities in the Parliament, are being treated correctly, even by the Honourable Speaker of the House. So I urge you to pay attention, my dear people, to these things. So you see how important it is. It's very important because remember, there's always the possibility of having what you call the tyranny of the majority. And I could understand and appreciate why the rules of the House of Commons say that the Speaker has to protect the rights of the minorities in the House. And if anybody should be allowed to finish what they have to say, it is certainly the minorities as well as the majority. Now we are coming to a close of our program, but I just want to briefly mention some of the issues that came out in the last newspapers of Friday gone, just for the sake of showing you some of our concerns here at Serving the People. You know, on the front page of the Searchlight newspaper, we had a story entitled 11 girls ages 10 to 14 give birth in 2010. And there was a call by a practitioner in the Family Affairs Division, the director, for the need to report these cases. My dear people, I am truly concerned about these issues. Girls ages 10 to 14, they are baby girls, they are babies. And to hear that even 11 of them gave birth to children in 2010, that is too much. That should not be happening in our society. These are baby girls making babies. And I want to say here at Serving the People that we are truly sorry that these things are happening, and we would hope that the calls of the Director of Family Affairs, which is for more reporting of these cases, would be heeded. And I also want to personally say to you all out there listening to me, you young girls, you young ladies, if you're listening to me, you little girls, you must go and tell somebody if somebody harasses you sexually. If anybody, no matter what it is, father, uncle, stepfather, cousin, nephew, whoever, if they touch you, if they interfere with you, don't be afraid. Go and talk to somebody and tell them what has happened. Don't think nobody will listen to you. If somebody you go to doesn't listen, go to somebody else. Because you have to know that you ought to be protected, and these things are not right. They are an abuse. They are against the law, having sexual intercourse with minors, and these people can get in trouble for that behavior. So don't be afraid. Go to somebody who you can trust and talk to them and tell them what is happening. If you know you have a little friend who it's happening to, tell somebody and let them know so that the matter could be reported and that person could be protected. We love you, we care about you, and we want you to know that there is a way to get help. Please know this. And I want you also to know of the New Democratic Party's commitment to the support of our young girls and to the support of our children against these kinds of ills. When you look at the spiritual and social redemption charter, the motion on the crime situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and other ills that destroy and eat away at the moral values of our people, the New Democratic Party had brought such a motion to the Parliament a few years ago. It wasn't accepted by the government side, but this motion, which I will deal with in more detail in another program, entails ideas as to how we could encourage the reinstilling of certain good values in our people so that many of these immoral evils that we're reading about in our papers today would be eliminated or at least be reduced as much as we can. We have come to the end of the program. Remember, you may write to us at servingthepeople.ab@gmail.com or call me at 528-1015. Remember the Young Democrats public speaking coming up? Call your president in your constituency, call President Nick Francis, get involved, participate, and enjoy yourself. We are here for you at Serving the People. We love you. And until our next program, may God richly bless you. Amen.